Welcome to Land Academy. I'm Jack Butala.
I'm Jill DeWit.
We show you how to buy real estate for half of what it's worth.
And sell it on the internet really fast.
We are Jack and Jill,
and this is the Jack and Jill Show too.
With over 15,000 completed transactions, we're the experts at acquiring property.
Of all kinds, not just land.
For half price and flipping them for way more.
All right, let's get this show started.
Jack Butala with Jill DeWit.
Hi.
Welcome to our show today. In this episode, which is Jill's episode, by the way, we talk about why to use an answering service.
Yes.
Before we get into it, let's take a question posted by one of our members on the landinvestors.com online community. It's free.
All right. Justin asked, I think I have an easy question. However, I have searched around for a bit with no luck. Thank you, Justin, for trying to solve your own problem first. I have to add that
That's the theme this week.
That is the theme. So he said, what is timeline to build? I see this a lot within advertisements, and I'm asked by my customers, but I don't know. I'm assuming that's some type of restriction within certain HOA restrictions, and I just haven't run across it yet.
Your assumption's right.
Thanks for any information. It's very true. So
Want to take this?
Sure.
I usually see it as time limit to build. So when somebody creates a master plan community, like Del Webb or Walt Disney, literally, I'm not joking. Del Webb and Walt Disney were good friends, by the way.
I didn't know that.
Del Webb created, he's long gone past.
Were they together like in Florida or somewhere?
Yeah.
Then? Oh.
Yeah, Florida, Chicago, Arizona, California.
Huh. That's interesting.
Like Anthem is a master.
Like, did Del Webb follow him around, and where he bought property, he'd build the homes?
Well, see,
I would do that.
Walt Disney, if you ever go on Netflix and watch the Walt Disney, his life story, he always had this theme park in the back of his head.
Right.
You know, he was an animator by trade, but he just had this thing in his head about a bunch of people coming and having fun and then so he took it a step further. Del Webb took it a step further and
said you should live at Disneyland.
Yeah.
Which I personally think is a great idea.
I'll bet you. I bet Garden Grove is a Del Webb community. I'll now look this up which is where Joe is from originally.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. It's a good question.
Anyway, that Del Webb wanted to take it a step further. Let's just put all the retail and the fun stuff in the middle, and you can live in the suburbs. Mm-hmm. And then let's just plot it all. Let's subdivide it all out the same. With one stroke of the pen and throw an APN scheme there, and we'll put the big houses over here, we'll put the townhouses over here, we'll put the, that's still in use today. Let's put the industrial wasteland over here, that kind of thing.
Exactly. Let's
just plan it all out at once,
Yeah.
So time limit to build is if somebody's subdividing a master plan community, they don't necessarily, if they're not builders like Del Webb, they just platted it out and they want you to go get your own home builder and build a nice house and the whole thing. They're going to give you a time limit to build. They don't want to just have a barren
property sitting there with random houses
with
here
half
and there.
Of them there. Yeah, so
right.
There's a bunch of those. If you go on a map and you look at the Pacific coastline of Washington State and some places in Oregon, you'll see why there's a time limit to build on certain stuff, because they don't have a time limit to build, and there's beautiful houses with nothing around them.
Exactly. And the developer has they spent all the time and the money on the infrastructure and putting the facilities in place. They want it to be used, and they want, you to be, helping.
Well said, because, think about running electrical line. Right. If you run an electrical line to one house, it costs the same amount of money to run electrical line to 50 houses on a street than it does to one. So
right.
Wouldn't you rather have 50 customers for the one expense or one?
Right. They paved it. It's all there ready to go. They want you in there using it.
Right.
So that's where they came up with this stuff.
So that's what the time limit to build is. Mm-hmm. If you buy the lot, you have to build a house on it or build something on it within 2 years. That's what I see usually.
Exactly.
For us, a time limit to build as investors for land is a real bad thing. Mm-hmm. Don't buy property that has a time limit to build on it. That's my advice.
Right. Thank you.
If you have a question or you want to be on the show, reach out to either one of us at landinvestors.com. We answered that pretty efficiently. And
we did.
We didn't
No.
Put each other down.
Nobody got mad. Yeah. There's no crying.
And we answered the question directly.
There's no stupidness.
There's no rant.
No rant.
It was good.
Yeah.
Today's topic, why would you ever use an answering service? This is the meat of the show.
Why would you not?
That's
use
what
an
that's what
answering
you should call.
service.
That's what the show should be called.
That's the thing. So
Like everything, I learned this the hard way. Jill showed me the light.
if you think that it's going to be easy and efficient use of your time to field every single phone call coming back when you send out mailers and offers to sellers, you're nuts. That's really not the best use of your time. That's the key here. You should having an answering service to field the calls is such a time saver. I cannot tell you. So imagine this. You send out a campaign, you got 100 people calling you back that week. Do you really have time to take 100 calls? Even if you're not working, a lot of our people have day jobs and it's darn near impossible, to take all the calls.
Unless you have the coolest job ever and
right,
you don't have to do anything.
And exactly, you just sit there answering the phone. You have to say, excuse me, and then you answer that phone and, that's just nuts. But say you have 100 calls calling back. There's going to be a percentage of those calls, say 20, I don't know, that we could weed out right away that are just calling you back to say you're nuts.
You're a bleep, 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 bleep. I would never sell you my property. Bleep, bleep,
right.
bleep, bleep. Who raised you?
Exactly. Do you really want to take those calls? Do you want to sit there for 3 minutes listening to this person rant? No, you don't want to do that. So let's weed those out right now. Then there's going to be a bunch that are going to call back and say, hi, what's your name? I got this letter. What's this about again?
Why are you calling me?
Really? Huh?
If they're 95.
Why
did you call me?
Oh, do we need to spend all that time on the phone with them? They may or may not be legitimate, but you don't need to be the one to hold their hand for a few minutes and pull that information out of them. And there are going to be a few that are just to say, yep, how fast can we do this? Okay, that's great too. But the point of it is, if you have one person, not you, or a service that can field all those calls for you, put them in a spreadsheet and have the top or CRM, you know what I mean, but send you the information, or have this information ready for you, where the top third are the ready to go people. Here's all the details. The middle third is we want to talk about it. They don't like the offer, but they do want to sell. And then the bottom third is you're crazy. Don't call me again or don't bother me. That's fine. Then you could sit down on a Sunday afternoon or whenever or you're home from work, whatever it is, and look at those and go, all right. And now I'm going to do my due diligence, pick the ones I want, and be the deal maker. That is the point.
Nice. You
need to be not a phone answering service. You need to be a deal maker. You need to be looking at these, picking the ones you want, and acting on those.
It's just from an efficiency standpoint, you can't beat it.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of stuff, if you want to be successful at this, and anybody who's in this business knows this, that you should be spending your time on, and even way more stuff, not spending your time on. Here's a few of those. You shouldn't answer your phone. You should look at a script at the end of the day that somebody emails you. I keep saying script, but it's a list. A list of, you got 14 calls today, and these 3 people really want to sell their property. How efficient is that? And what do you pay for them? You pay just cents per minute. It's very, very efficient. Another thing you never want to do is try to find the property on your own and horsing around on the internet.
Spend hours trying to look it up.
There's resources like Parcel Fact out there where you literally type in the APN while you're on the phone with the person and you make a decision of whether or not you're going to buy the property or not, right on the spot based on the map.
Right.
So there's a bunch of stuff. We should do a whole show on stuff you should spend your time on and stuff that you shouldn't.
Right.
And we will do that show next week. But answering a phone is not something you should do. You want to spend your time calling the people back who really want to sell the property and putting a deal together.
Exactly.
Whether it's doing the deal yourself or through an escrow agent.
Exactly.
Hey, by the way, you do not, in general, want to close your own deals unless you're brand new. It's just not efficient.
Right. That's another show that we'll do that on here too. Right. It's like what Jack means is now they want to, you reach the deal, like they love your offer price, you look it up, you love the property. This is like run to the bank situation. You should not be the one now running to the bank, and you shouldn't be the one getting the notary. You shouldn't be the one putting on the transaction, but that's a whole nother thing. So, because you need to be the deal maker. You need to say, yep, we're buying that one, move on. Yep, we're buying this one, move on. Oh, no, we're not buying this one. Next. That's what you should be doing all day long.
So let's say you're kind of good at this, like Jill and I. Philosophically, should you do your own laundry?
No.
Clean the house?
No.
Do the yard?
No.
Raise the kids?
Yes.
Can you
If I have to.
Can you outsource raising kids?
Yeah, you can.
Let's take it a step further. Should you wash your own car?
Isn't that what boarding school's for? Just kidding. Here we were kids. I used to be the thing our parents used to say, we're going to send you to boarding school. Nobody says that anymore. Do they even exist?
Oh, yeah. Are you kidding me?
If I said that to our kids, would they know what that is? Well, number one would. I don't know. Would 2 and 3 even go like, what are you talking about?
Oh, I had this conversation with number 2 recently. Whatever happened to your friend Jack? Oh, he's in boarding school now.
For real?
Yeah.
Shut up. Really?
At military school, yeah.
Brilliant. That does my heart
He got
good.
in his third. This is what he said. This kid, Jack's not his real name. This kid got in his third fight at school, and
People really
his parents
do
are
this.
done. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Especially if it's like the third or fourth kid.
Wow.
The first kid, you're a little like, oh, I can fix it. You're still
Yeah.
delusional about the fact that you have any control over this at all.
Oh, my gosh.
Let me tell you something, listener, about kids.
Oh, no.
How they come out, how they are when they come out of the chute.
Yeah, there's a lot
That's
of that.
it. About 90% of that's how they are.
That's
90%.
true.
You only have 10% maybe control over the kids. So when they're real little, really, really little, and they're happy and laughing, they're going to be happy and laughing when they're 40. If they're all morose and like, well, who the heck are you? You're my parents. Get out of my life. If they're like that when they're 1, that's how they're going to be when they're 14.
My brother's number 2 kid, high maintenance. And I knew it right away. I'm like, oh, this
can
is
see.
funny. You can tell as a baby.
In the first month, you can see.
Baby high maintenance. And I'm sitting there going, and it's a little girl. Oh, just wait till she's 16. This is going to be fun.
And here's another thing, since we're on the topic. I used to think it was gender specific. You know,
It's not.
It's not. We have some friends who have their girls are picture just a delight to be around, and their boys who are just they're walking mess.
Well, that little boy. We were outside a little party yesterday out in front of our house, and there's a little boy sitting on the wall, all morose. He looked like he was in a timeout, and the mom's like, "No, that's just him." He put it. It's like a self-imposed timeout. What kid does that? It was really weird.
That's how he's going to be when he's 80.
You're right. So he's just sitting there pouting while everybody else is playing for no reason. It was really
Maybe
funny.
he wants to wear girl clothes or something.
No.
He's just being denied his natural self.
Jack. Jack.
We don't know.
Jack.
Maybe if you asked him, like, what's going to make you happy?
Jack.
He would start saying stuff like
Eyes
that.
over here. Eyes on the script.
I've been dreaming about nail polish, and
Jack.
I'd like to try it.
Jack.
Is this
Jack.
bad?
It's a little, yeah.
Oh, all right.
All
I don't think there's
right.
anything wrong with
All
men.
right.
There's nothing wrong with it.
All right.
Oh my God,
All
you're
right.
shutting me down.
What are you going to do?
What's the show about?
What the heck? Am I going to walk? I'm not even going to say it. I'm saying, am I going to walk in and find you wearing my shoes?
No.
Okay.
No.
Starting
You know
to
what?
scare
The
me.
truth is this. This is a lot of years ago. I seriously put a woman's, if you've never done this, do it.
This is going to be funny.
Put a pair of a woman's pumps on, right? If you can find a big pair in the store or something.
Oh, yeah. Let's
And
do
try
this
to
in
walk.
public.
And try to walk. It's insane how difficult it is to walk. Insane.
That's all right. Yeah. So this
Whole
is
new
great.
respect for women walking in shoes,
So
walking
you
around every day.
just tell men to go into a store and put on women's shoes and walk around. No, yeah, there's nothing bad that's going to happen after that.
You got a little extra time on your hands because you're using an answering service. So if you ever wanted to put women's shoes on, you
Oh my goodness!
now you have the time.
That's how you
And that's
tie
how
it on in.
Yes, it is.
That's how you tie it all together. That's nice because you have all this free time now. You don't need to be parenting.
No, the kids are in military school.
Yeah, that's fine. Whatever. Why use an answering service in military school?
Buy yourself a good bottle of champagne, kick your feet up, put the kids in military school,
And put on some
and put
women's
some girls'
shoes.
shoes on. Someone else is answering your phone.
What the heck? Woo! That's great. And I thought my mom was Captain Random. Well, Jack, you just took the title. Oh my
And
gosh.
that is how you make an 8-minute
Woo.
podcast 20 minutes. Join us in another episode where Jack and Jill discuss how to use information. That's me.
And inspiration, that's me.
This show is neither one of those to get just about anything you want.
We'll use it every day to attempt to buy property for half of what it's worth and sell it immediately.
You are not alone in your will to not answer your phone.
Ambition. Wow. That went really sideways. That's hilarious.
We started using a service. I bought and sold a bajillion properties, and we started having our phone answered probably realistically, Jill, like a year ago. Mm-hmm. One of the best things I've ever decided. I mean, we decided to turn it into a company and provide it for everybody else because it was so wonderful.
August. That's our target release date.
Right. For Jill Live.
Exactly.
Information and inspiration to buy undervalued property.
We are Jack and Jill, and this was the Cash Flow from Land Show.
We are the experts at acquiring property
Of all kinds, not just land.
for half price just so we can flip it for way more.
And really fast. Thanks for listening.
You are not alone in your real estate ambition.